Let's do worst album rollout.
Okay. What did you put down?
Jesus is King. That was just a screw around. How it was meant to come out last year, and then he said it was coming out this day, then it came out the next day, and then...
Yeah, I think that's better.
Then he was like, oh, I'm just fixing it now. And then it just randomly came out at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, he didn't announce it or anything.
What a weird. And then Kim Kardashian announced it like 3 months before and was like, oh, it's coming this week. And then she's like, oh, just have faith, it's coming this Friday or something. And then he did all those...
No, I think Yandi was worse.
Oh, yeah, well, that never came out. So it wouldn't even make it on the list. But then he had all those shows where he played the movie and...
Yeah.
Weird. But he came out and it was decent. It was decent. So what do you have for your worst album rollout?
DJ Khaled's Father of Assad.
Mate, we're going to get on to DJ Khaled.
Okay.
Because he's in a few of my other ones.
For months coming up to this album, he's just shouting Father of Assad everywhere. Like he's sort of saying it as if it's equivalent to I'm God.
Right.
Like it's just a normal ass kid who he's nothing special.
Yeah.
No one else cares about Assad. But even now that it's been out for a while, he's still trying to promote it. He's still saying Father of Assad. And it wasn't even his album. He just got other people together and they did it.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Yeah.
He is a cooker. All right, well, let's do biggest flop.
Okay.
Again, for this one, I have Blueface. He just flopped off the face of the planet. He had so much hype behind him.
Yeah.
And literally, when was the last time he made a hit?
It was Thotiana.
He literally hasn't made a hit since he made a hit.
What were his two main ones? It was Thotiana and...
Oh, there was a few. Dead Lokes.
Oh yeah, Dead Lokes is one I'm thinking of.
Respect My Crippin'. There was a few others, but yeah, he blew his shot, but he might come back. Obviously, you don't have to constantly release albums or hits to sort of you can sort of come in waves, but he definitely had a lot of hype. People were talking no one really talks about you if you're bad, and that's why people were talking about Blueface.
Yeah,
Oh, he's rapping off beat, he's so bad, but he was still generating massive amounts, and then he worked with Lyrical Lemonade. I forget that guy's name. What's his name? Cole Bennett. Yeah, he was working with Cole Bennett, and he was working... he had these big features, and then he just tossed it all away. Well, I don't even know. What did he do? Honestly, I don't know. So, hopefully, he can turn it back around next year. But 2019 was not the year for Blueface. He probably made a lot of money off his old stuff, but he definitely wasn't generating any new revenue. But...
Got a whole lot of new money, though.
Yeah. What do we do again?
Biggest
flop.
Without a doubt, it would have to go to Chance the Rapper.
Man, I'm going to talk about him later too.
He has had some of the best albums of the previous years. I reviewed Acid Rap, and I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I have listened to Colouring Book as well. That would get a very similar score. And then he just fucking drops this... bullshit.
It was a bad album.
Hot Shower is
Hot Shower.
Higher than a ladder.
Yeah, it's a bad song.
What else does he say? Oh, he's talked about loving his wife a lot.
Loves his wife, and then he...
Super Saiyan Manga.
Yeah, that's in Hot Shower too.
Yeah.
I can't believe I reviewed that album.
That was...
disgrace.
That was a very bad album. I think pretty much everyone had very high hopes for that album. And... pretty much everyone gave it a 0 or a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think without a doubt, biggest flop would go to them.
It was
go to him.
Dreadful.
Yeah.
All right, and last one before we get back into our number 4 review. Let's do biggest disappointment, because then we only have 2 left after that. So yes, let's do biggest disappointment.
Yeah, okay.
Go for it, mate. What?
Can't even see where I know I've written that down somewhere.
No, you said you thought of it before.
And I did write it down. Oh, yeah. When I was talking about that, but I can't even see where I wrote it down. But it would have to be K.A.A.N.
K.A.A.N?
Used to listen to that man a lot. It's spelt all capitals, K, full stop, A full stop A full stop N full stop.
So would he be in contention for someone you liked, but now don't? He was in
Yes.
contention. All right.
Yeah, I used to listen to him a lot, and he was a very fast rapper, and he could do like a whole song rapping very fast on one breath.
Right.
Like I don't know how he did it. Like he's got like a third lung or some shit.
Right.
But he was very, very talented in that sense. And I understand that you can't rely on that for a whole career, and you can't run on that, and you do need to branch out at some point. Mm-hmm. But when he released, I think it was called A Requiem for a Dream, or a Requiem for a Dream Deferred. I don't fucking know what that means.
Right.
But it was such a letdown. Like, I know that when I used to listen to him, that's pretty much what I listened to him for, fast rapping, and I was like going to challenge myself to keep up.
Right.
But he didn't show 1 ounce of that at all, and there was no good wordplay or lyricism or anything like that. Like, that's all he's got. Like, it's basically the Night Lavelle of fast rapping.
Okay.
Where they're just relying on their voice.
Right. Yeah.
And everything else is shit.
And that was it.
And yeah, I think I rated it like a 3 out of 10.
There you
And yeah, so that would definitely be my biggest disappointment, because I was expecting good things from that album.
go. There you go.
So what was yours?
Biggest disappointment for Rob was K.A.A.N. Or K.A.A.N. with full stops in between. Mine was Beast Coast. What a letdown that album was. Escape from New York. Oh my gosh. I will say that everyone had high hopes for that. They'd been teasing this since like 2011 or 2014.
Yeah,
one of those.
Fucking ages.
Like they were teasing it for ages. Like they obviously had Joe Badass, Nick Vicious. They had a bunch of names. Obviously Flatbush Zombies, CJ the Fly got what's his name? CJ Fly or whatever his name is. They had a bunch of people. But yeah, this album really let a lot of people down. I will say one song did make it onto my top 10 list because that song slaps hard. But the rest was just a letdown. Like the whole thing just fell flat. We used to Flatbush Zombies and all those guys being really...
I spilled.
You spilled some?
A lot.
We're used to them being
fucking
really
lift
good.
it properly.
You didn't lift it properly?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't. We're used to them being really good lyricists and bringing stuff to the table that no one else does, and they just didn't do it this time, unfortunately. And I think a lot of people were let down with the basicness and the surface level raps that they were going for. Like, people could predict these raps. Rappers, like, you didn't even have to be a rapper to know what they were going to say, which for someone that's like a lyricist, like when Eminem comes up, even at his old age now, like, he's going to say something and he's going to rhyme like any random words together, and it's going to sound at least good and
cohesive.
Make sense. Yeah, cohesive.
Yeah, not cohesible. That's not very cohesible.
No. And I will talk about Eminem next week, which is in the good part, so maybe I've got good things to say about Eminem. But yes, and I'll talk about him when I do my next album review too.
I feel like that Lord of the Rings cunt.
I don't know, Smeagol.
Yeah.
Schmeagol or whatever his name is.
So, like, my precious.
Yeah, that little fucking Gollum dude. I heard a good joke the other day. You want to hear it? It's about Star Wars. I don't know much about it, but you'll know it.
Okay.
What did Yoda say when he found out he was in 4K?
Like, as in the resolution?
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
HDMI.
That's actually pretty clever. I do like that.
That one, I rate that one highly. That's good.
I'm definitely retelling that.
But yeah.
HDMI.
Whoever thought of that is...
Yeah, that's up to them.
That is top tier. That's comedy not even I could come up with.
Yeah, that's the peak.
Honestly, who thought of that? Genius. But yeah, Beast Coast, Escape from New York, really let me down. But collaborations in the past between individuals of that or like groups have gone off really well, so maybe they can recapture that. But I did say when I reviewed it that there was a bit too many chefs in the kitchen. They were trying to fit.
You
They
did
were
say
trying to
that.
fit like 10 people on every single track when maybe
Yeah.
it would have been better suited to maybe do like 3 or 4 and just do it.
Yeah,
more
and
spaced
especially
out.
considering they don't all make the same style of music.
Yeah.
So you'd have one come in hard, and then
Yeah.
the next one would just be like sort of singing an auto tune.
Yeah.